What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about something very, very unfortunate because apparently microtransactions in Black Ops 4 are about to get a lot worse. And I know many of you don't want to hear that, but according to a very reliable leaker and a good buddy of mine, the Gaming Revolution, his source, who has been helping him leak the entirety of Modern Warfare 100% accurately, has told him that microtransactions in Black Ops 4 are about to get a lot worse. But he didn't elaborate, so it was just up to interpretation as to what exactly that meant. But then Matthew Harris tweeted something out which I found to be very, very interesting, and I'll put that on screen because Matthew Harris is reliable in some cases, maybe not others, but this 100% supports what the Gaming Revolution was tweeting about when he was talking to his source. So I want to say this is accurate, so take it with a grain of salt, but let's go ahead and read it. So he said, there is no longer going to be ranged weapons in the tier system, none at all. Ballista isn't the only OP weapon being added, literally everything is cancer, including the entire Blackjack specialist. Blackjack is kind of like Zero, but worse. They're working on a pistol and a launcher that are purposely straight upgrades to the launch guns. They basically released all the shelved content they have, so everything else is like bare minimum content. Zombies is basically the only thing to look forward to. The new maps are done apparently. Also, Blackjack is going to become more pay to win with a similar system to Blackjack stashes. So that's not good to hear. And then he follows up by saying, do they not care? And then his source said pretty much, like, obviously a lot of people at Treyarch love making games, but they're just done. They hate BO4. Most of them actually are having fun with COD 2020 despite the crunch. So all the people currently working on BO4 are like 5 random dudes in the corner of the studio. Laugh my fucking ass off. So once again, this is also supporting some crazy leaks I've been reporting lately about Call of the Dead, the remake, factions being canceled and scrapped, replaced with contracts. People out there are doubting. I can't share exact evidence and proof as to who was telling me this information, but I speak to many inside sources who have a lot of inside knowledge with game development for Call of Duty specifically, and I've been told by many reliable people who have been right countless times and don't even speak to each other, but I know are all reliable. They've been telling me all this information about Call of the Dead, DLC 4, DLC 5, Victus Chronicles, what happened to Season 2, what's going on with the reboot. I've been told a lot of information, which clearly the Gaming Revolution is also hearing from his source, so the information is credible, it's accurate. We can't exactly show screenshots all the time of exactly what people are telling us. We don't want to get them caught and fired, but that's what's going on. So if you choose not to believe, that is perfectly up to you. No hate, no dirt, nothing held against you for doing that. It's okay if you don't want to believe these leaks. It's okay if you don't like leaks. It's perfectly fine. But at the same time, with the things we've been reporting on, they've been 100% spot on for this entire season. Even before that, we were reporting on things even back in BO3 as they were coming out. So obviously we talk to people who know their shit. That's very apparent. But for those who don't want to believe it, that's perfectly fine. Just wait for the trailer for DLC 4 and then we'll talk about it after that. But in terms of what's going on behind the scenes here, I was even saying before, the reason why there's bare minimum content being added into new operations into Black Ops 4 is because there are literally not even 5 people, as this person said, about 5 people working on Black Ops 4 right now, while everybody else in the studio was put to work on the Black Ops reboot. They're obviously in crunch time right now because, what originally was a 3-year development cycle ever since 2014 is now a 2-year development cycle. So unexpectedly, Treyarch is put in charge of a project they didn't even know they were making. Now it has to be a reboot to Black Ops. It has to have campaign, multiplayer, Blackout, and zombies taking place in the Vietnam era, I believe, or maybe the Cold War. I'm not sure which one exactly, but it's obviously, it's going to be a big game, and there's a lot of expectations for it. They have less time to make it. As I've said before, it also doesn't make sense that we're going to have a polished Modern Warfare reboot, right, with a full 3-year dev cycle under its belt. Then we're going to get a rushed Black Ops reboot just a year later, when all they had to do was take a year off, give Modern Warfare a second year of life, and put out the Black Ops reboot in 2021. Instead of doing that, because of investors, shareholders, stockholders, because of all that business, they have to put out a reboot just a year after Modern Warfare. So it's kind of embarrassing that they may win a majority of the community back over, might bring people back who haven't played Call of Duty in years with Modern Warfare. Then all of a sudden we get a rushed Black Ops reboot that hopefully is good, but may not be on par with Modern Warfare, even though it's on a new engine. engine still might not be on par with that game, which might turn people back away. So it's a really big slap in the face to try to win people back and then make another stupid decision, which you've made countless times, to then turn people back away. It's really embarrassing. But once again, as I've confirmed before many times, and just as other reliable leakers have said as well, there are literally not even 5 people working on Black Ops 4 right now. Everybody is working on the Black Ops reboot. David Vonderhaar, all the major devs at the studio, everybody is working on this reboot because they have very little time to finish the game. So they don't have time to polish Black Ops 4. So if you see a new content drop in Black Ops 4 and it's a bunch of reused assets and old weapons, it's because they don't have the time to make new content. I'm not trying to make excuses for them or, have their back with this thing. I don't agree with it either. I don't like that a majority of the new content in Black Ops 4 is pretty much just ported over from Black Ops 3. I don't like that either, but I think it's the best they can possibly do with the manpower they have and with the little time they have left with Black Ops 4's season. I'd assume if everybody loved Black Ops 4, you would see some beautiful content drops for this game. But I think with Blackout returning in the Black Ops reboot, we'll definitely be seeing some great content with the operations that are hopefully featured in that game in 2020. But I think at this point, it's safe to say that Activision's looking at Black Ops 4 as a loss. They know Treyarch doesn't want to make any new content for it, so they're saying, you know what, let's just monetize it to death, try to squeeze every last dollar possible out of microtransactions from this game, and then move on, wait for Treyarch to make the Black Ops reboot. I think that's literally what's happening here. But as the person said, to give you guys some hope here, the only thing to look forward to is zombies. So obviously DLC 4 is going to be epic. We have a DLC 5 releasing probably in the middle of Modern Warfare's life cycle. There's some content left for zombies, to be looking forward to, but in terms of multiplayer and Blackout, don't expect anything crazy. Expect some, weather map variants in multiplayer, like we have the jungle flooded map coming out, and then we have, I believe, 2 more promised multiplayer maps, a part of the Black Ops Pass. You'll have that, and then you of course have one last operation in the fall for Blackout, which I don't believe is going to add anything new. Think about it. Grand Heist was the last operation to add a completely new area in Blackout. All I really wanted was for them to nuke areas that really, aren't too popular and then replace them with something new. You don't have to add a whole new area to some area of the map. I would have loved to see Carrier out in the ocean somewhere. I would love to see Cove on the other side of the ocean somewhere. I would have loved to see some brand new areas. I would have loved to see that, but I think with the time they have left, they just can't do that. So expect big updates like that within the Black Ops reboot when Blackout returns, thanks to Raven Software in that game, which I've also been told by some reliable sources as well. So once again, you guys don't have to believe these leaks. You don't have to, trust everything I'm saying here. It's perfectly fine. I definitely respect that, and I respect your opinion to avoid leaks. But if you guys are interested in leaks, then I'm definitely going to be covering everything that is 100% reliable and accurate here on this channel, as I've been doing for the past year. So let me know what you think of all this down below in the comment section. In terms of when this update is supposed to come out and microtransactions get worse, I'm going to assume the second half of Operation Apocalypse Z, which begins in about 2 weeks, is probably when it's going to begin, and that'll probably be escalated even farther with the beginning of the fall operation, or the final operation here in Black Ops 4. Since Treyarch doesn't like BO4, that perfectly explains why Factions was canceled and scrapped by contracts, and it also explains why a Season 2 was canceled, and we're going to have more operations in Blackout, we were going to have some more multiplayer updates, definitely more zombies content throughout the year. All of that was canceled because not a single part of the Treyarch dev team likes BO4. That's very unfortunate. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and peace out, everyone.